Hi, I'm Tim Hawkey, Chief Creative Officer of Area 23, an IPG health company, and I'm the jury president for Health and Wellness at LIA 2022. How was my experience at LIA judging and being here in Vegas? Well, first of all, being in Vegas is absolutely amazing. This is my first time judging LIA, and I just have to say it is so cool and it is so fun. What a great experience for jurors. I think the location and I think the LIA vibe really sets the tone for a different kind of judging experience. It's more social, it's more laid back, it's more fun, and I think that helps avoid some of the sort of classic fights, debates, and arguments that typically bog down a jury. So in my experience, our jury was absolutely wonderful. More often than not, our votes were pretty unanimous. There was not a lot of controversy. And, you know, when there was a discussion, it was a great safe space to disagree with each other and come to an agreement. Since Health and Wellness is inviting work from every type of media, from all health-related sectors, public service, NGOs, insurance, hospitals. There's so much variety. And since we're looking at all medium types, really the trends did not come up. I will point out a few important themes that I noticed. One was inclusive design. For example, Vaseline See My Skin campaign, which looked at the fact that for Black people in America, there is not representation in Google search of dermatologic conditions for anything other than white skin. So Vaseline, creating a easily searchable and great user-friendly database of Black skin types with dermatologic conditions, was a great breakthrough for inclusive design. You know, another inclusivity project was the Micropedia of Microaggressions, you know, really creating a resource and a database to help people understand when they're crossing these invisible lines that they didn't know that were there, but that are really important and have a great impact on people because words matter. So I think inclusivity and inclusive design was certainly a theme. Gaming was an important theme that came out. We looked at the Battle Inside, which was a really cool Doom modification, sort of revamping Doom to be representative of cancer, this violent, horrible, disgusting battle that's waged inside the human body, and it was lots of fun. So yeah, no big trends, but definitely some important themes. A piece that I really love is the Extra Time badge from the Leith Agency in Scotland, which basically, you know, took the footballer's badge and, you know, moved it over to where the heart is to provide instructions for CPR. And it doesn't really need any other explanation than that. And now you've got all of these footballers, you know, across the Scotland and UK wearing these instructions for resuscitation right on their shirt. So really just a really cool low-cost hack that we absolutely loved in the agency. Very close to a Grand LIA, but not quite. The Grand LIAs, great question. You know, we had 233 entries, but there really could only be 2 Grand LIAs. And we looked at the Grand LIA for-profit brands and the Grand LIA for non-for-profit. In the for-profit area, we awarded a piece called Despair No More for Tena, which really looked at menopause in the Middle East and how in the Arabic language, the only word for menopause is something which means the age of despair. So this women's health brand decided to take that on. They created a huge cultural movement to rename menopause and ultimately changed the actual word in the dictionary. So, you know, what a huge achievement. And we really looked at the scale of that and the impact on a whole region for basically everybody that speaks Arabic. So that was huge. And then on the non-for-profit side, we looked at the anti-look QR code which for the German public health, addressed the problem of onlookers with traffic accidents because, oftentimes people are just taking pictures of dead bodies. And, we've all thought about that, even just when being stuck in traffic. We're like, how do you stop onlooking and rubbernecking? Well, what they did is they put a giant QR code pattern on the side of an ambulance that when you point your phone at the scene, it actually screws with your phone, and a Safari message pops up, and it basically tells you that what you're doing is bad. So we just love that it was a hack that took a current behavior and interfered with it in this really interesting way. There's a really important distinction that Barbara and the LIA managers have made, and they recognize that there really should be a space for non-for-profit public service work. Essentially, it recognizes that when you're dealing with brands and corporations, there is a much higher bar. It is a lot harder. There is massive amounts of money and scale and briefs and strategy that are involved that, quite honestly, perhaps aren't a part of the picture when you're dealing with an innovative idea that an agency has for a nonprofit. So I think separating those two out and recognizing that these two projects deserve their own judging scheme, I think it was a great idea for 2022, and hopefully something that LIA uses moving forward.